What's going on, guys? It is Royalty Crypto here, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about potentially the hottest altcoin in the space right now, and that is SUI. But before we get into this video, I did just want to let you guys know that if you have any tokens that you want me to do a video review on, please drop them in the comment section. And also, I am a new channel, and I greatly appreciate any support, so please like and subscribe, comment your opinions, and give me some feedback. But alright guys, let's get right on into this one. So currently SUI is the 16th most valuable coin in the space, and it has an $8.78 billion market cap, and the fully diluted market cap is a $24.2 billion. So the one downside to SUI, and I have mentioned this in my past videos about it, is the fact that we only have about 30 to 35% of the tokens in circulation. That is a problem long term because, you're going to be experiencing quite a bit of inflation with this coin. But if you're planning on holding this for, like a year or less, then it's not as much of a concern. But with the current tokenomics on this coin, I do think that we could see an incredible run with SUI in the next year or so, especially if we get an altcoin season. The reason for that is just the amount of hype around this community is insane. As you can see, we have $874 million in 24-hour trading volume today, and that is actually on the low side for SUI. As you can see, it's down 30% from yesterday. So yesterday was well over $1 billion for the 24-hour trading volume. And also, I just think this coin has a lot of potential. I mean, they're just constantly building, constantly doing team events, and they're pretty much at every single big crypto conference. So I do really like SUI in pretty much every single aspect besides the circulating supply. And as you can see here, this shows basically when these tokens are going to be unlocked. So it's a somewhat slow but steady uptrend until looks like February or March of 2026. And then that uptrend accelerates just a little bit. And by the year 2030, every single token will be in circulation. So it's not like this is all going to happen over the next year, which is definitely a positive thing, but nonetheless, it is a concern. All right, guys, let's take a look at the overall market. Actually, one thing I did want to talk about with SUI is some price predictions. So I really do think that if the altcoin season does start to heat up, I think SUI could see similar numbers to what Solana sits at this given time. And as you can see here, Solana is sitting at just over a $100 billion market cap. So I think that with these current tokenomics, we could see about a $100 billion market cap, maybe a little bit higher, maybe a little bit lower, but around that general area for best case scenario for SUI. So just quick math here, that's about an 11x from here. So if you were to invest $10,000 into SUI, you could potentially see a $100,000 profit on that under the best case scenario. Now, I do think that it's best to sell these altcoins while they're going up rather than trying to hold for the absolute top, because it is definitely possible that SUI could get to like 40 to 50 billion and get rejected off of that. And as you saw 2 weeks ago, altcoins can crash very, very quickly. So if you're watching my channel, I'll definitely let you guys know like when are some good times to potentially be selling some of your position. And I might get some hate for that because during, very exciting times, nobody wants to hear about selling, but I keep it real on this channel, and yeah. All right, so the Fear and Greed Index is currently sitting at a 28 out of 100. So, in my opinion, that means that it is a good time to be buying. When I say it's a good time to be buying, I don't necessarily mean that you should just go ahead and say you have $10,000 to invest. I'm not saying just go ahead and dump all $10,000 in like today. That's not at all what I think you should do. However, I do think it's a good idea to like start dollar cost averaging in again. That's at least what I'm doing personally. So say you have $10,000 to invest, maybe invest $1,000 a week for every single week that we remain in fear, and keep some money on the sidelines in case we really get a correction, because that is always possible. And it's not something to be scared of. It's more of just an opportunity. All right, guys, so I did want to go over to Twitter here and just play this video from Trump. This was at one of his conferences today, and it's really just goes to show how far crypto has come, at least in terms of government adoption in the past year or two. I never would have expected this to be coming out of the mouth of a, U.S. president, but here it is.
I became a fan of crypto, and to me, it's an industry. I view it as an industry, and I'm president, and we've dominated that industry. It's a big industry, by the way. In fact, when the stock market went down recently, crypto and Bitcoin and all of that went down much less than anybody else as a group. And we've created a very powerful industry, and that's much more important than anything that we invest in. We invest in it, but really that was an industry that wasn't doing particularly well. I got involved with it a couple of years ago. It's become amazing. I mean, it's the jobs that it produces. And I notice more and more you pay in Bitcoin. I mean, people are saying it takes a lot of pressure off the dollar.
So it was a bit of rambling there, but ultimately, yeah, he went ahead and said at the end that it takes a lot of pressure off of the dollar, which that's crazy. And it really does show that the government is fully in support of Bitcoin. And he also said that it is much more important than anything we invest in. Yeah, I mean, that really goes to show that there is legitimate hope, and it might not be this year, it might not be next year, but at some point we could see a strategic reserve of Bitcoin for this country. I mean, if it's coming out of the mouth of the president, then you know that the government overall thinks Bitcoin is a fantastic investment. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the FedWatch CME Group tool. This is what predicts FOMC meeting decisions. And as you can see here, we have our next FOMC meeting in 5 days and 20 hours. It's crazy how quickly these come up. It feels like just yesterday we had our last one, and I think that was about 6 weeks ago now. It feels like, seriously, it feels like just yesterday. But anyways, guys, we are sitting at basically 100% chance of seeing a 25 basis point rate cut. And I do believe that that is priced into the market at this point. However, what I don't know if it's priced in or not is the fact that there's a good chance that Jerome Powell could announce at this meeting that he is flipping from quantitative tightening to quantitative easing. At least that's what JP Morgan is suggesting. They believe that could be the case. And if you saw Jerome Powell's press conference from a couple weeks ago, he did confirm that we will be switching to QE in the next couple of months. So that would be incredibly bullish for risk on assets. So definitely tune into that meeting in 5 days and 20 hours. I will be for sure. All right, let's take a look at the liquidation heat map for Bitcoin. So as you can see here, we are kind of in between right now, where we have levels of long traders and short traders. We're like right in the middle. And this area between 106,000 to 114,000 is pretty open. The main reason for that is because of the volatility we've seen in the past couple of days, just going up and down on Bitcoin, which is clearing out some liquidity. But now Bitcoin is going to have to make a decision on whether or not it wants to test the bears or the bulls. In my opinion, I think that we will test these levels that have short liquidations up here at 114,000. And, if we hit that with some momentum, we could see a short squeeze really any day now that could potentially liquidate all of these traders and bring us up to $118,000 for Bitcoin. Now, the $118,000 level for Bitcoin is a very important one, because if we can actually hold that level, I could easily see us then trying to retest some all-time highs here in the coming weeks. However, if we get to 118,000 and, sharply correct off of that back down to, like 110,000, that is when there is a potential for Bitcoin to possibly go as low as $100,000 and liquidate these long traders down here. Now, it's unclear at the moment what will happen, but I do believe that we will see a bullish move in the short term, most likely. I'll give it a 70% chance. And you guys know that I am bullish on Bitcoin in the medium term as well, just because the macro is looking phenomenal. So don't worry about the short-term price action too much right now, guys. Stay away from leveraged longs and shorts, in my opinion. But, you got to take these buying opportunities whenever we do correct. All right, so I think we've talked about Bitcoin enough. I did just want to point out that we are forming a nice uptrend here from the bottom that we had on the 25th of October. So hopefully we can hold that uptrend, and start to slowly creep up on Bitcoin. Because ultimately, if Bitcoin's going up, then Ethereum will be going up. And it would be really nice to see Ethereum break above 4,000 and really hold it this time. The thing that's very bullish in my opinion about Ethereum is the fact that we didn't hold 4,000. However, we didn't just tank all the way back down to like the low 3,000s. We are really holding here, and I think that Ethereum will see a push towards all-time high in the later parts of this year. But alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope that you found this information helpful, and please enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow.